Arizona Wildcats have had things going their way as of late. A convincing win on Thursday at Oregon cemented their number 14 national ranking. So why is Lute Olson so fired up? Well, a trip down the river to Gill Coliseum, it's been a house of horrors for Arizona in recent years. The youthful Oregon State Beavers are all smiles as they relish the chance to uphold tradition and knock off Arizona once again. A youthful, exciting team and a brand new coach, and David folks in the Willamette Valley, reason to hope for a return to the glory days. Welcome to Oregon State University as Fox Sports Net presents the best in collegiate basketball tonight. Number 14, Arizona against the Beavers of OSU. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Watts alongside Craig Elo. Arizona number 14 now, looking to regain that swagger just a little bit as the season closes out. Meanwhile, Oregon State, no seniors on the roster. This young team has grown up fast and thinking about extending their season.
There is light at the tunnel for them, Jim. They had a big win against Arizona State on Thursday that gave them that light, or to look at that light at the end of the tunnel. And the reason why, they got a little inside going and a little outside going. Inside guy, David Lucas. I love his game. He can either face you up and score, or he can take you into the to the post and post you up. Chris Stevens, on the other hand, he's a streaky shooter from the three-point land. But boy, if he gets some confidence, he makes a couple of shots, he can really help this Oregon State team.
And both of those guys are players. In fact, both of them are in the top 7 in scoring in the Pac-10. Arizona had a mid-season slump. They lost 3 in a row, and you talked to Lute Olson. He was a little disappointed with the way his team responded.
Well, he kind of felt like because of their youth and the team being so young that they might hit a wall somewhere in the middle of the season, and they sort of did in that 3-game slump. But boy, have they responded lately.
Oh yeah, they are lighting it up right now. Arizona's the top scoring team in the Pac-10. They've underscored that, averaging over 100 points in their last 3 outings, and nobody is better than Salim Stoudemire right now. He is absolutely killing it.
Wow, Salim Stoudemire, what does he do best? He shoots a 3-point shot, and guess what? When he's really on that 3-point shot, his team is really, really good. I don't know what the record is. Oh, there it is right there. 17 wins when he shoots better than 50% and averages 17 points. He's got to be hot for them tonight.
Salim Stoudemire, of course, loves playing in these parts. He grew up just up the road. He went to Lake Oswego High School just south of Portland, so he's playing in front of the homies in this one. Arizona has won 3 in a row. They're ranked number 14 in the country. They won the earlier meeting this year in Tucson, but Arizona has struggled on the road, and in the past they have struggled here. It's coming up next on Fox Sports Net, Arizona and OSU. Gill Coliseum on campus at Oregon State University. A big crowd in the house because number 14 in the nation is also in town. The Arizona Wildcats, winners of 3 in a row, including a big win. They scored 100 points at McCourt down in Eugene the other night to beat the Ducks. Arizona number 14, Oregon State trying to play themselves into the postseason, trying to qualify for the Pac-10 tournament. Arizona in their traveling blues, that's Channing Frye winning the tip. The Beavers of Oregon State in their home whites, trimmed in black and orange. Jim Watson along with Craig Elo on Fox Sports Net. That's Channing Frye spotting up from 18 feet. The Cats, best shooting team in the Pac-10, about 55% this year on the road. They're up 2-0.
Brought your track shoes, Jim, because this team can run with these kind of athletes, and they're starting off fast right now with Channing Frye hitting a good little shot from the wing.
Craig, you did this game the last time when these two got together in Tucson as they go inside to David Lucas. Oregon State made the mistake of trying to run with Arizona. It didn't work.
It didn't work. They just got outscored every time, but you mentioned it. They shoot the ball very well, and when they shoot the ball well, they're a hard team to beat.
This is Salim Stoudemire at the top. He has been on fire of late. He's averaged 29 points a game over his last 4. He's had back-to-back 30-point games. He absolutely tore Oregon up. That goes through the hands of Hassan Adams and out of bounds. And the first turnover of the game.
I don't know what Hassan Adams was going to do on that play because Channing Frye had the whole wing to go, and then all of a sudden Hassan comes on the baseline and tried to make a little pass to him that was too close and too hard, and that's why it went out of bounds.
Oregon State has won 2 of their past 3. The only loss, a 1-point loss on the road in Seattle to the University of Washington. A chance to win that game at the end. And the the shot went off the heel. So they're playing much better of late. They've only won 4 conference games. When you talk to their coaching staff, they'll tell you that the Beavers have not played this well all year long. They have no seniors on their roster. But they do have that guy right there. That's David Lucas. Lucas spins inside against a couple of Cats and is right there for the putback.
This young man is playing his best basketball at the right time, because I've seen him 2 or 3 times and he's just been awesome. He's been inside shooting the basketball at a high percentage.
Channing Frye got tied up. The ball was loose and went into the hands of a teammate. It looked like it was Andre Iguodala, the sophomore from Springfield, Illinois, who cleaned up the mess. Good ball movement by Oregon State. Arizona in a man, and Oregon State trying to make him work just a little bit early in this game. Lucas pops out. There's a foul on the reach. Hassan Adams. Hassan Adams been a little bit inconsistent of late for Lute Olson.
He has. And this is what I love about David Lucas. He's strong enough to face the basket and then go inside. And right there's persistence. Just staying with it, being in the right place, and putting the ball back in the hole. And he's going to have to do that a lot tonight in order for Oregon State to play or keep in this game, stay in this game.
Now, these are the 2 best offensive rebounding teams in the Pac-10, so expect to see a lot of guys crashing the glass at that end of the building. Lucas working against Stoudemire to Hurd. Lamar Hurd off the heel. Look at Lucas just out-hustle everybody else. And he hands it inside. It was Kyle Jeffers who missed the close one. Here comes Arizona. Stoudemire thought about it, takes it inside, shovels to Frye, and Frye gets hammered. And he got a lot of that in Eugene the other night. The Ducks were just pounding on Channing Frye, and of course Oregon State going to give a lot of attention to Salim Stoudemire as he brought that ball up court. 3 guys went to the rock.
And that's great recognition by Salim Stoudemire. Hey, he goes 6 for 8 the other night from 3-point land, so you're going to get out front and guard him, right? That way, when they came out on him, he went right by him. He drew the defense. Channing Frye opened up and had a good look at the basket, and there was a great dish by Salim.
Channing Frye, the junior from Phoenix, averaging 15 a game, but that guy has been carrying this team. Salim Stoudemire has just been nuts the other night. He was shaking for the folks in Eugene the other night at halftime. 5 for 5 from the 3, as you said, and he was feeling it. Remember, he's a local kid. He grew up just south of Portland, about an hour north of us, went to Lake Oswego High School. So he's a big fan favorite, but not tonight. There's Nash. Wanted the 3, had good arch on it, a little too long. The tip kept alive by Jeffers to Lucas inside, and a chance at a 3-point play.
Oh, if Oregon State can keep the ball alive on all shots, and the 2 big guys, Jeffers and Lucas, fighting in there for rebounds, they get their hands on it here, it's going to be a tight game because these guys can score here. David Lucas can score inside on anybody. You got to realize Channing Frye is one of the best shot blockers in the Pac-10, and he took it right at him right then.
And Lucas puts Oregon State in front. It's 7-6. That's Iguodala. And that was up high, and so was Channing Frye. And Frye is fouled. He'll go back to the free throw line. We have a final score from Eugene to report, and this is a surprise and got a big ooh from the crowd here right before we came on the air. Arizona State beats Oregon 86-75 at Mac Court. Never saw that coming.
Never saw that coming, especially with the way they played here on Thursday night. But they did. They rebounded and came up with a big win.
Channing Frye makes the free throw. Saw a quick glimpse of Jay John, the new head coach here at Oregon State. The irony, of course, is that he spent 4 years as Lute Olson's assistant at the University of Arizona. So obviously he knows this team pretty well.
And you'll see a lot of similarities in both teams because of his assistant coaching at underneath Lute. He does a lot of the same stuff Arizona does.
Here's Arizona with some half-court pressure. That's a deep 3. Chris Stevens. That is his 63rd 3 of the year. The school record is 82, set by Gary Payton. Stoudemire trying to answer back. The catch and the release wouldn't go, and back come the Beavers. They do not have numbers, now they do. Turn it on, Lamar Hurd, off glass, blocking foul, and count the basket. Oh, did he kick it into another gear?
He did, and I tell you, he kicked it past one of the best freshmen in the country. Mustafa Shakur is known for his defense, and right there, Lamar Hurd just blew by him, and you gotta love the mentality of taking the ball right to the basket. He's not a scorer. They want him to score more, and that was a good sign going right to the basket. Now he's got to knock down his free throw.
And Lucas is gonna go to the bench, but he probably won't be out for very long. Lucas already has 7 points and 4 boards. Good save by Fry. Stoudemire, offensive foul. That's some good defense by J.S. Nash, the junior from Southern California. 2 fouls now on Salim Stoudemire. Oh, that's huge. Stoudemire has just been feeling it.
He has been feeling it lately, and anytime you can take, he's their silent leader, basically. So you're taking him out of the flow of the game, but you're replacing him with a Chris Rogers, who, if there was a 6-man award in the Pac-10, he would definitely get it.
Chris Rogers started against Oregon the other night. Solid game, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Now they go to him early in this one. 4 minutes in. Nash, the double dribble. Referee right on top of it. And a timeout on the floor with 15:54, but we told you that Arizona struggles on the road. They're just 5-4 this year away from Tucson, and Oregon State loves to play the Cats here.
Gymnastics fans, the former OSU All-American Chari Knight will return to Gill Coliseum next Friday night to perform an exhibition. 18th ranked OSU faces 7th ranked Stanford. Reserve tickets, same price as GAC ticket order by Thursday. And baseball season tickets are on sale now. Currently, the team is undefeated, including today's victory. You can be reserving tickets. There's a Pac-10 package available for just $50. Call 1-800-GO-BEAVS.
Lucas has got to be coming back up. Pac-10 basketball is brought to you by Pepsi. It's the cola. Welcome back on campus, Oregon State University, Gill Coliseum, and it's 12-4 Oregon State over number 14 Arizona. We've talked a little bit about David Lucas, who has 7 points already. The other guy in that scoring duo, Chris Stevens, the sophomore from Portland, the best outside threat on this team, and proven it early with a bomb.
And the coach will definitely let him shoot this shot. It was a great swing of the ball from one side of the floor to the other against the press. Chris Stevens, I told you, is very capable. He's shooting about 37% from the outside the three-point line. And if he gets some little confidence and he starts shooting the basketball, he can really spread the defense.
And it's not like Arizona doesn't know about Chris Stevens, because he had 16 points in the earlier meeting down in Tucson. So they've seen him before, and they've seen him light him up.
And he's lit up other teams in the Pac-10 too, from beyond New York. And that's where he likes to stand. So if you're defending him, go out there and guard him, because he doesn't put the ball on the floor very well.
Channing Frye leads Arizona with 6 points. The team has 8. Stoudemire is on the bench with 2 fouls. That's Mustafa Shakur. That misses. Ball tipped out of bounds by Iguodala. No, it was kept in by Hassan Adams, and then he walked with it. Now, Hassan Adams, who had a pretty good game against Oregon the other night, his 5th double-double, 26 points and 14 rebounds in that game. Been a little helter-skelter tonight. Turned the ball over a couple of times. Both teams shooting over 50% already. There's the lob inside. Hansen, who just checked in, got it back and scores. Jim Hansen is a junior from Atlanta, and he's a roll guy. Here's Fry, looking for his 8th point. In and out. And pulled down by Lucas, who's back in the game.
I don't know what his little short stint on the bench was for, but this guy, I think he's got to be on the floor the whole game tonight for Oregon State because he is just an offensive weapon and a leader out there.
They wanted to run a lob to Lucas, a little give and go on the alley-oop. It was not there. Lucas working against Adams, and that's an offensive foul.
David Lucas.
We'll see if Hassan was there. It's an aggressive move by David Lucas to go to the basket. Hassan Adams, yeah, the Academy Awards are coming up next week, and got a little bit of acting in there, but anytime you can do that and draw a foul on one of the big guys on the other team, you got to try it.
A little high-low here with Fry at the elbow. Shakur trying to work for his shot in the lane. Chris Rogers misses, and Lucas has another rebound. They have 6 rebounds as a team, and he has all 6 of them.
And you mentioned it early, they cannot give Arizona second chance points, so they got to block everything or get every rebound.
Good hands by Channing Frye. Got in the passing lane, then gets it back and kicks it ahead to Adams. The ball never touches the floor, ends up in the basket. That's how you run a break.
That's pretty good basketball right there. Very well executed. Ball never touched the floor, went from one wing over to the other wing and get a layup.
You know, Elo, I worked, what, 4 games with you now. That's the best smile I've ever seen. You remind you of something there, that break?
Good old school basketball right there. I could have done that.
Everybody filling, everybody running. Lucas to Stevens.
I tell you what I like about Chris Stevens' shot real quick, Jim. He elevates on his shot. That means he gets he'll get it to the basket.
17-10, Iguodala almost lost it, lucky to get it back. Adams in the corner. Look at Oregon State, active defensively. Into Channing Frye, and Hansen read it, knocked it away. Now Hansen run to the floor. The give is up late.
That was another great basketball player by Oregon State right there to match it. Hansen got his hands on the ball down there, cleared his man out, took his man, and J.S. Nash filled the trailing spot and was able to get the layup.
This crowd is into it. It's 19-10, Oregon State. Shot clock is at 6. And they are in trouble. Shot clock is at 2. He's going to have to launch one. Iguodala. He didn't get it off. Wave off the basket. Shot clock violation. And that brings him to their feet inside Gill.
I don't know about you, but I absolutely love it when a team does not get the shot off. That means something's going on out there, and that something is defense. They played very good defense. This Arizona team is very athletic. They run a lot of motion. They're moving around. To have them not get a shot off in that 35 seconds is a big plus for Oregon State.
And Lute Olson had no other choice. He goes back to Salim Stoudemire, who has 2 fouls, and we still have over 12 minutes to play in the first half. Kyle Jeffers back in for Oregon State. He's trying to draw a fly away from the basket and set a screen. A lot of sink here for Oregon State right now. There's Jeffers. Kenny Hooks, a freshman. Everybody getting involved.
They're definitely, Oregon State Beavers are definitely feeding off this crowd right now. The energy level is very high in here.
Yeah, I've done a lot of games in this building. I haven't heard it like this. Shakur, Arizona had to have an answer, and they got one. Mustafa Shakur, the freshman from Philly. And then he proves it.
He is a freshman, and Lute Olson's telling him right now, the guy's 45 feet from the basket. You don't need to reach and foul him.
We told you about Lucas. We told you about Stevens. We didn't tell you about Kenny Hooks. Kenny Hooks is a freshman, but he's on the floor. He's playing pretty well.
They must stay on the Pac-10 logo. Every time they make a shot with one of John and Phil's mini basketballs, the cheerleaders will throw a t-shirt for every shot made. All right, go ahead and shoot.
All right, coming out of the break. Score, then we do 89 first, right? Yeah, what was the, 89 was Peyton. And Arizona was number what? Yep.
Number 9.
They were 2-9-3, right? Okay.
And 3. And that's DeAndre Tanner.
So Tanner beat him 2 years in a row. I got you, I know. Yep. Number 14, Arizona trails Oregon State 21-13 with 11:31 to play in the half, and it's not surprising if you know your history because Oregon State has always given the Wildcats nightmares inside this building. In 1989, Arizona was number 2 in the nation. They came in and got absolutely worked because Oregon State featured that guy, Gary Payton, who went off. They beat him by 23 points. In 1999, Arizona was number 9 in the nation. Didn't matter. Oregon State with the upset, 60-59. They had 11,000 in the building. And then in 2000, Arizona was number 3. DeAndre Tanner with a 3-pointer to win it, 60-59, Oregon State. Right here, here's the shot by DeAndre Tanner, burying that 3. What is it about Arizona in this building and Oregon State giving them fits?
Seasonal dysfunction, I guess. I don't know. They're in the sunshine down there and they come up here and it's raining. Maybe it clouds in on them up here. I don't know.
Oregon State has 14 points in the paint and they continue to try to go down low. Stoudemire, high arc, fall away. You're not going to shut him out all night.
You're not, and his main shot is the 3 points, so that's good to see him put the ball on the floor and pull up for a jumper. That's a tough shot.
Nash taking the point for Oregon State. This is Stevens. Stevens doesn't even hesitate. That's just a 2.
He's got a great looking shot. Good rotation on the ball, on balance.
Stoudemire came back, tried to answer, maybe rushed one just a little bit out of bounds. Good save by Channing Frye off of J.S. Nash.
That's a 6'10" young man going after a loose ball. And when you got hustle like that, good things are going to happen for your team.
And Channing Frye moves real well. He's not a thick kid, but he's very athletic. Shakura goes around, hooks, the kick back. Denovich. And a foul, a grab on the arm. And it could be Angelo TSAGARAKIS, who just checked in, the freshman from France. This guy's a great story, speaks 4 different languages. And to say he likes the 3 is an understatement, isn't it?
I think when he comes in the building, he likes to start shooting.
David Lucas comes back in for Oregon State.
I tell you, I really like what Channing Frye's doing right now. He is being very proactive and very aggressive. That's helping his Arizona team being down 8 points.
Rogers spins in the lane. Ivan Radenovic. Stoudemire was fouled on the drive. Arizona just doesn't look to have any sequence and no rhythm on their offense right now, but you got to give credit to Oregon State because we've seen their defense playing pretty well so far.
I agree with you. I think anytime a team looks out of sync or there's some disruptiveness going on, it's not always your offense, it could be the defense, and Oregon State's playing great defense right now.
Arizona's just choppy. They can't get anything going. Oregon State took the lead at 7-6. Denovich pulls up and buries it.
It's quite a story with Denovich. He has really played very well for Arizona off the bench, and they really needed that punch off the bench for him. And coming in mid-December, kind of threw him off, but he's been a real big plus for this team.
Great size, he's 6'10", likes to shoot it from outside, as you saw. Jeffers tried to shovel it to Lucas. That's a set play. Jeffers pops out just a step from the block, catches, turns immediately, and hits Lucas on the cut.
And without getting fouled, he probably would have connected with Lucas, and it would have been an easy basket for him.
16 fouls already on Arizona. There's Lucas left alone for the free throw.
I tell you, that's what makes him one of the better Pac-10 forwards in the league, because I told you he can post up or he can face the basket and score.
Lucas has 9 to lead everybody. Channing Frye active on the glass. Oh, that was just a desire by Channing Frye.
He's the only Wildcat that's come to play tonight so far, because without what he's doing, they would be very, very far behind.
And Frye's got 8 points. Lucas again, back to back.
That is deadly when you can hit a 15-footer, set yourself up next time. You watch next time he'll go down low and post up and get an inside basket.
Ball was kicked, so it's a fresh shot clock. J.S. Nash booted it out of bounds. Look at Frye, last time down. 1 effort, 2 efforts, gets it back.
And what did he do right there?
He never brought the ball down.
He never brought the ball down, you're exactly right. And that's why it was easy for him to get that basket, that little put back in.
Would you have made me run if I didn't know that answer?
Oh, definitely. You would have been on the line.
Line drills.
Again.
Again. 27-19, Oregon State. Halfway through the first half. Stoudemire to the lane, and now Stoudemire to the line. Very explosive. What a night he had against Oregon. Had to be his best game of the year. 5 for 5 from 3. You know what else he did in that game? He got to the line a lot. He got to the line. He was 13 of 15 from the free throw line against Oregon the other.
That helps when you want to score some points. That's 13 extra points right there. And you know, usually a good shooter, I think he's what, about 52% from the field. And I mean, he's a good shooter. So yeah, we just hexed him though at the free throw line, because he's a good free throw shooter also.
Well, he had 37 points against Oregon. And he was doing the shimmy and the shake. He was 5 for 5 from 3, and he was talking to the Oregon fans. And Lute had to walk out during a timeout and grab him by the elbow and say, come over to the bench. That's not how we play in Tucson. He was excited, of course, playing back home in front of a lot of friends and family from nearby Portland. Just south of Portland, about 50 miles.
And you know, a real key to this Oregon State team is we talked about David Lucas and Chris Stevens being offensive, but that J.S. Nash is a real leader out there.
TSAGARAKIS is going to get an assist as that ball ended up in the hands of David Lucas, but it wasn't going to Lucas. He threw it through the legs of a teammate. I think he was trying to give it to somebody else.
You know, some coaches will actually have guys, if you pass it to it, call out the name. And I don't think TSAGARAKIS called out David Lucas' name there.
Well, TSAGARAKIS might have called it out, but he has to pick a language first.
Yeah, that's true.
TSAGARAKIS speaks Spanish, Greek, French, and of course English. Stoudemire again to the line. And look at Arizona just creeping back into this thing just a little bit, trying to withstand the fury right now, this rush of Oregon State in the first half.
And you know, early in the season, Oregon State jumped out on everybody. They had big leads, and they couldn't sustain them. And that's why they got so many losses, was they always gave up the lead. If they can maintain this lead against a great team like Arizona, it would really be a confidence boost for them.
Here comes Chris Stevens back in. You saw David Lucas went to the bench. Lucas has been going in and out of this game at about 3-minute spurts. He's got 13 points, and Lucas is 6 for 7 from the field. Every time Lucas comes out, he gets a lot of attention. He gets towels and water and a coach in each ear.
You want to keep him hydrated and fueled for the game.
This is Hurd, who started the game at the point, pulls up. Well, he's third in the Pac-10 in assists, but he can score as well.
And he'll take care of the ball, too. His assist to turnover ratio is very high in the Pac-10.
Yeah, it's 3-1. Adams inside. Oh, Hassan Adams, who just checked in. He's been back in the game 30 seconds, and he scores. Chance for a three-point play.
You know, I don't compare a lot of players to pro players and stuff, but Hassan Adams, he reminds me a lot of LeBron James, just the body build and the way he goes at it, and just loves to go to the basket and finish there.
Hassan Adams, he prepped in Los Angeles at Westchester High School. They won the national title when he was there. Played with guys, Tony Bland came out of that system, David Blumenthal. Some great players. Played for Ed Azam. Westchester is just about 10 miles from UCLA.
Well, if you were in a foxhole, you'd want Hassan Adams in there with you.
Yeah, tough kid. Iguodala went up high for that one. Now he brings it into the front court. And here comes Arizona. This is why they're number 14 in the nation right there. How about that? Off the glass, down court, and in the basket in about 4 seconds. Chris Rogers.
That's great transition basketball right there. And you know, if you got athletes like Arizona do, all you got to do is run with it, whoever has the ball, and then spot up.
Boy, this room got quiet in a hurry too, didn't it?
It sure did. It's down to 5 right now.
Nash looking down low. Jeffers trying to find some contact, and that will be an offensive foul. They get him on the second one. He dropped his shoulder twice, and Adams flopped on the second one and got the whistle. 2 fouls now on Jeffers. So Hassan Adams has baited 2 guys into fouls. Chris Rogers wraps up a great fast break for Arizona, and all of a sudden the Wildcats are back within 5. Oregon State 31-26. He just handed it to me. Beautiful. Yeah.
To get them to overtime.
To get them.
Right, not in overtime.
To get them to overtime.
31-26 on Fox Sports Net in Corvallis, Oregon State over number 14, Arizona. You talk about single plays in a year and how much they mean. Well, what about this one? January 17th at Corvallis. UW trailed by 16, but cut it to 1 with just seconds left. They roll the ball up court. Nate Robinson, the 3, and he hits it to send the game into overtime. Washington would go on to win that game 103-99 in overtime. What did it mean? Well, for the Huskies, it lit their fuse. Since then, they've won 8 of 9. And for Oregon State, it sent them and Jay John into a tailspin. They lost their next 6 in a row.
And that was after a big win against Washington State here on this home floor. And, you know, there was a couple of mistakes in that. The ball was rolled up the floor. You've got to put some pressure on the basketball and make him pick it up. You may take a few seconds off, may make him shoot the ball from a little bit further. But that's all in the basket now because Nate Robinson drained that thing.
Stoudemire's in, Hassan Adams in for Arizona, and an offensive foul. And that is 3 now on Stoudemire.
I don't think he's very comfortable in putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket because it just shows right there that he doesn't know when to pull up and stop because he went right over Jim Hansen on that play.
3 fouls and just 4 points. Stoudemire's had a strange weekend. 37 points on Thursday night at Oregon. Played almost a perfect game. Can't even keep himself on the floor here in Corvallis. Jeffers, he puts it on the floor and threw him a wild shot. Hansen had it, lost it to Rogers. Look at the Cats run. All 5 of them are out fast. To the corner, Adams for 3. Oh, they're good.
Adams for 3.
Now this is why Arizona was picked by the coaches to win the Pac-10. They get the ball at the glass and go up quickly. And, you know, it's funny because Jay John probably helped recruit a lot of these guys.
He probably did. And I tell you, the best thing about Arizona's transition is you don't see a guy dribbling the basketball up the floor. Like it's 1-2 dribbles and then pass up on the wing. And then on that situation, the ball went all the way across court to an open Hassan Adams standing in the corner, and he drained a 3. And now, I don't know if you saw it, but J.S. Nash was trying to block out Shannon Fry. Well, that's 6'10 versus 6'4. And J.S. Nash lost that battle, and Shannon Fry is going to get 2 free throws out of it.
If he had made them both, there'd be a chance for Arizona to tie. And so quickly, back comes David Lucas. Kyle Jeffers goes out. Both coaches going into their bench early in this one. Pace a little bit quicker than I thought Oregon State would want, but maybe because they're the home team and they're also shooting about 65% from the field right now.
You got to remember, Jay John was in a Lute Olson system, so he might not have the athletes that Arizona has, but he still runs the same type of system where they want to score points, and they're capable of doing it.
Oregon State's lead now sliced to 1. A little trap going on out front. Trying to get after Chris Stevens, the sophomore. Stevens picked up his dribble, ball's kicked. No call, the shot clock is at 10. Nash against Adams. Adams gives him a wide berth. Foul on Andre Iguodala. Yeah, you look at these two teams, Greg, and this could be the same game next year. There's no seniors out there.
No seniors whatsoever.
And Oregon State doesn't have a senior on their entire roster, and Arizona doesn't have a senior in their starting lineup. In fact, none of the guys who play a lot for Arizona are seniors. Nash at the line. Now the Northwest Sports Report presents Before the Bigs, a documentary look into the lives of your favorite Northwest athletes, stories that have never been shared and moments that shape their future. These are the events, influences that turn raw talent into professional skill. The Northwest Sports Report Before the Bigs premieres March 1st at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net. Nash makes them both and pushes OSU's advantage back to 3. 6 minutes to play in the first half.
Looks like Oregon State's gone to a zone.
That's strange considering that Arizona's shooting over 50% in this game, and Arizona's the best shooting team in the Pac-10. Iguodala. Andre Iguodala cuts it to 1 again.
Pretty fantastic play. I mean, his control of his body to get that shot off the backboard, that was a heck of a move right there.
Iguodala's got a nice balanced game. He's 3rd on the team in scoring, but he's 2nd in the entire Pac-10 in assists. And he leads the team in rebounds. Pretty good guy to have on the floor.
And what do you got for height-wise? I mean, he's probably 6'6", or...
Yeah, that's what they list him at.
And that's amazing. I mean, although all athletes today are about 6'6", or versatile athletes, can play 3 or 4 positions.
Nash threw it up, ball was tipped up. I didn't see got a hand on it.
Jim Hansen. I tell you, you want a guy like Jim Hansen on your team. He'll take charges, he'll dive for loose balls, he'll play big because he's 6'6", he'll guard bigger guys. He's a good guy to have on the team.
Shakur too strong off the heel. Adams with a big rebound to Rogers for 3. That's too long. Chased down the corner. Nash got pushed out of bounds by Iguodala, and the Oregon State bench exploded. Now here's your guy, Hansen.
I think Nash had to get the ball off. The shot clock was going down, and there's a hand right there behind Jeffers. That was Jim Hansen. He'll do that for you. He'll keep balls alive. He'll play hard defense. He's a great guy to have on your team.
Oregon State, 2nd best in the Pac-10 offensive rebounds. Best offensive rebounding team in the Conference of Champions. Arizona. You know, it's funny, you look at a guy like Lute Olson, and I can sit here and read his resume. You know he's one of the greatest coaches ever. He's in the Hall of Fame. But when you look on the stat sheet, it's completely reflected. His team takes care of the basketball. They rebound. They share it. A lot of guys in double figures, but a lot of guys high in assists, 4, 5, 6 assists a game. It's team basketball, and that's old school. That's Lute Olson.
And then you look at his team last year, the Luke Waltons and the Rich Andersons. They were a half-court team. Then he turns around and has a team this year, and they're a transition team. I mean, that's just a sign of a great coach that can adjust to his players.
708 victories career for Lute Olson. He's just focused on this one right now as Oregon State starting to put together a mini run right here. The 4-0 and they have the ball. Lucas, 17-footer. Rattles around, stays out, and is tipped up and back in by Lamar Hurd, the 6'4 guard.
Those are the ones that can hurt teams right there. The ones that they thought they had the rebound and the mess shot, and then all of a sudden someone puts it back in for you.
There's Radinovich. You know, he's 6'10", but that's the thing, and I've heard you talk about it many times, it's missing from a lot of guys' game, that mid-range jumper.
That mid-range jumper, and you got to give him credit because he is a European player, and I say most European players have a great mid-range game.
Lucas, his shot looks a little flat right now, and there's Radinovich with a rebound, had it slapped away. Rogers left alone. Oh, gonna burn him. Had an open look. He could have taken that ball all the way to the rack if he wanted to.
I'm telling you, if I was a senior at Washington State and I pulled up for a three from George Raveling, would just pull his hair out, because that was amazing to pull up for a three on a fast break. Now Arizona's going to a zone. Looks like a 1-3-1.
Kenny Hook's trying to go baseline, pulls up, he had 3 cats around him. They just baited him into that one. Mustafa Shakur pulls up to Adams. And Arizona can go in front with a 3. They have not led since it was 6-5.
And that was good transition defense on Oregon State's part. The turnover down here, they had 5 guys back in the lane and they stopped the fast break.
Channing Frye left it short. Hansen came over on the help rebound. And a timeout. Jay John didn't like the way things had changed over the last couple of minutes. I think his team just got tired.
I think they were, because they've been running up and down, and on that rebound right there by Hansen, they did not even look to push the basketball. And I tell you what is funny now, in the NBA, you take it across half court, so you call your 20, so you get the ball on the half court. But in college, I believe you can throw it in the back court. So it really didn't matter getting it across right there where Lamar did. But, you know, everybody wants to dream about playing in the NBA and doing that. So I'm sure Lamar had that in his mind.
Well, you can't blame Oregon State for being out of gas right now, because Arizona moves the ball so quickly from one end of the floor to the other. They'll pull it off the glass, and watch, all 5 guys are out and flying, and they fill the lanes.
There's 1 pass, 2 passes across, and a layup. Always look up the floor against anybody, and you get good things. There's Andre Iguodala making a great pass across court to a wide open shooter over in the 3, Hassan Adams. Yeah.
And that's the thing, these guys, when they get out on the break and the ball ends up in their hands in the front court, they're not going to the basket. They keep their nose up and they're looking for a teammate with a better opportunity.
And they're not selfish. That's what you just pointed out. They're not selfish. They really like to pass the ball, and that makes the transition game tough.
Yeah, the more I got into the numbers, the more you can see why Arizona's been so good. TSAGARAKIS. Oh, they like him here, don't they? They're going to have him for a while. He's a freshman. Hansen went for the steal and grabbed Channing Frye on the wrist.
I gotta tell you, the first time I met Angelo was at the Washington State-Oregon State game that I did here. And, I tell you, all Europeans know all about the NBA, and he was like, "Oh, Elo," and started yelling, "Jordan, Jordan, Jordan."
They remember that.
They remember that, and I was like, "You weren't even born yet." And but yeah, no, he loves the game of basketball, and is thrilled to be over here playing in the collegiate level.
Be honest with me, when they show that highlight, it still bothers you, doesn't it?
Oh no, I enjoy it. I tell my kids that's me. They're like, no.
Yeah, see the guy under Jordan?
Yeah,
that was me. No shame there, man.
You know, we're watching 2 pretty good free throw shooting teams tonight.
Timeout.
Angelo TSAGARAKIS, 86% of his field goal attempts come from 3. Oh, he likes the bomb, doesn't he?
Congratulations, you won a $25 gift card. Compliments.
That's the only bomb you're going to see coming out of France.
The bomb.
Oh, if I'd have thrown something like that out, Fear would have fallen off his couch. All right, hey, let's talk about halftime. First segment again is going to be about the first half. Okay. Okay, so this is the top 6 in the Pac-10 right now. Is this updated? This is Oregon after they lost. Okay. I gotcha. Oregon State continues to lead Arizona 42-39. The Cats coming in number 14 in the nation, just 2:16 to play in the first half. Take a look at some RPI rankings. Now, we listed these teams by record, not by RPI. So Stanford at the top. Stanford beat UCLA earlier today down in Los Angeles to run their mark. Spotless 23-0, and their RPI is number 5. Arizona's at number 22. They get hurt a little bit, as Stanford does, of course, because the Pac-10 is not real strong top to bottom.
It's not real strong, but I credit that to, there's a lot of youth in this league right now. All those teams that you saw below Stanford have a lot of freshmen and sophomore and juniors that are playing.
Looking for a number of barometer. If you're in the 40s in an RPI ranking, it kind of puts you on the bubble. Stevens. And there's Channing Frye again. He's had a marvelous first half, Channing Frye.
He really has, and I don't think Arizona's ever had the lead in this game, but without him out there, Channing Frye, Arizona could be in real trouble.
6-5 was the last time, real early. And he saved them. And Oregon State got this up to a 10-point lead. There's a whistle away. They're going to get Hassan Adams. He's the one complaining. Got an elbow up.
He was trying to post Angelo TSAGARAKIS up down there, and I tell you, anytime the little guys get down there and try to post up and they start throwing elbows or touching anybody, the officials don't let that happen at all. But you let those two big guys get down there, they can maul each other. But the little guys, they always get caught for throwing the elbows trying to post up.
Yeah, I was a little guy. You tried to, well, I still am. You tried to get that retaliation.
Yes.
Hansen kicks to Hurt. TSAGARAKIS, the pump fake, another three. Wouldn't go. Frye had it. Loose ball. Everybody going for it. And the 6'10 guy got it. Shocker. Three-pointer would bring Arizona even. And that time they get TSAGARAKIS. So TSAGARAKIS and Hassan Adams are both kind of banging one another at that end. That's 3 now on TSAGARAKIS, so he'll go to the bench. And I like it. I like TSAGARAKIS getting up in the face of Hassan Adams. Maybe take him out of his game mentally a little bit.
Sometimes you can do that, and I don't think TSAGARAKIS was actually trying to do it on purpose. I think the way he was taught the game of basketball playing overseas, you know, they play a little bit more physical over there, and Hassan Adams probably likes that also down there, but he can bump with TSAGARAKIS like that.
Kyle Jeffers on the floor for the Beavers.
Kyle Jeffers comes in. David Lucas is out with 1:15. Might not see him the rest of the half, and TSAGARAKIS also follows him to the bench. J.S. Nash is in.
I concur with that. I think with 2 fouls and your big guy, David Lucas, you're going to have to protect him for the last 1:15. You got a 2-point lead right now, so you're pretty safe.
Lucas has 13 to lead everybody in this game.
Number 11, Jason Rainey on the
Channing
floor.
Frye has 9 for Arizona. Here comes Jason Rainey, senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of the few seniors even in this game. And Hassan Adams will go to the bench, and pretty sure we're done seeing him for the first half too. Hassan Adams, 9 points and a couple of fouls. So Oregon State, I think it would be huge for Oregon State to lead at the half, and I think it would be a crushing defeat for them to give up this lead after having such a big advantage throughout the first 20 minutes.
And look at this score. I mean, we're going to get in the hundreds here. I mean, pretty soon. This is a high-scoring game.
Well, Arizona's scored 100 their last 2 times out. The game before that against SC, they had 97. Good rebound by Jeffers. They have another shot clock here if they want it. And now they try to throw a lob to Hurd. Well, half the guys want to burn clock, and half the guys want to score right now. I think I'd burn clock.
I think I'd burn clock, and I think Jay John had just whispered that to his team captain, J.S. Nash, right now, and said, hey, let's run the clock down.
Shot clock is about 12 or 13 seconds in front of the game clock. Now it's time to put it up. There's 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Nash has a man open in the corner, a 3-pointer.
Big time right there. All that work, all that offense, you drive, you draw the defense in, and then your shooter's standing out in the corner, and you pass it to him, and he knocks down the shot.
Channing Frye, that's off the mark. Pulled down by Hurd, and that's your first half. And is that going to give him a lift? David Lucas with 13 points, and he was the emotional leader, and they have been on their feet in Gill since they got here, and they got here early. They love Jay John, they love David Lucas. It's a young team, Oregon State, but they're ahead of schedule. Arizona, number 14 in the nation, and they are being challenged, as they always are when they come to Corvallis. It's Jay John against Lute Olson. It's the Beavers against the Cats, and it's 45-41 at the break. 20 more minutes to come. We'll come back and talk about the Pac-10 top to bottom. We return to Corvallis on Fox Sports Nets. Oregon State leads Arizona 45-41 at the half. We're in Corvallis on Fox Sports Net, and it's Jim Watson and Craig Elo. And, you know, every time Arizona comes to town, Lute Olson has that worried look on his face. And we talked about it a little bit during the first half. They've been upset here before, and, you know, the players know that. They know the history. They come in here, but Oregon State's given them a good game.
They have, and they've done it very well. They haven't really turned the ball over. They've taken care of it. They've answered some of Arizona's runs, and right there at the end, that was a huge play to get that shot off with the clock running down.
Yeah, Chris Stevens hit a three, and that's our advantage at the half. In fact, Oregon State took the lead 7-6 early in this game, and they never relinquished that. David Lucas, of course, has been the big star for this team. He came here as a walk-on, and this kid is a special player. He is a candidate for Player of the Year in the Pac-10. Probably not going to get it because his team's not winning a lot of games, but he's got 13 points tonight. He's a special guy.
You know, a lot of guys will look at that. They'll look at the team record and see what you're doing, if you're helping your team or not, but David Lucas has done everything. I mean, for this team, he's been in the 20-point games, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and he's carried this team, and I love his game. And he's got a little bit of his dad in him, too, that Maurice Lucas.
Mo Lucas,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, he's got 6 games in a row with at least 20 points, and he's not shy tonight. He's not being intimidated by Arizona. On the flip side, Salim Stoudemire came in. He was just killing everybody. Had 37 against Oregon the other night, but his problem has been fouls. He's got a couple of offensive fouls already and only 4 points.
And I tell you, his fouls have come. I think 2 of them have been offensive charge. Here's one against Hansen. And you know what? I tell you, he's just not comfortable penetrating to the basketball. He's used to standing still out on around 3-point line and drilling those shots.
We know both of these teams can score. Arizona has scored 100 points the last 2 times out, but Oregon State has been averaging just about 80 points a game. Both teams shooting over 50%, well over 50% the first 20 minutes. We'll come back and talk about the rest of the Pac-10. We return to Corvallis on Fox Sports Net. Beaver, and he's got a big smile on his face. You know, I think he always has a smile on his face. He's got those big buck teeth. He can't ever close it, but he's pretty happy right now because the Beavers have a 4-point lead over the number 14 team in the nation, Arizona. If you know history, Oregon State always gives Arizona a game right here in Corvallis. Jim Watson along with Craig Elo and his promise. We'll talk a little bit about the Pac-10. Of course, the Pac-10 tournament is coming up. It begins March 12th down at Staples Center in Los Angeles. The early round action will be seen here on Fox Sports Net. And all the attention is not at the top of the Pac-10 because of the tournament. It's at the bottom because, of course, 10 teams in the conference, only 8 get plane tickets to Los Angeles. And your Cougs are in there. Are they going to hang on?
They're trying to hang on. Right now, Oregon State has the advantage on them because they have beaten the Cougs twice. But that would be a real shot in the arm for Washington State to be able to go to the Pac-10 tournament.
And a couple of scores that we want to pass along because it affects, it's relevant to that graphic. Arizona State just down the road in Eugene, a big upset. I'm calling it an upset. They beat the Oregon Ducks at Mac Court today. And USC beat Cal down in Los Angeles. So obviously teams are trying to play their way into the second season.
They are, and you know, it's a wonderful event down there in Los Angeles, that whole Pac-10 tournament, the whole experience of the whole thing. But I tell you, these teams, after 1 and 2, probably Stanford and Arizona, each of them can beat up each other each night. It's amazing.
It's been going on all year. Mike Montgomery at Stanford, Lute Olson of Arizona, they've been on the record. They don't like the Pac-10 tournament because they're already in the NCAA tournament usually at that time of the year. They don't have anything to gain. Do you like it? Is it a good idea?
I think so. I think it's what we all think about March Madness anyway, is the underdog getting the shot to get that automatic berth. And you know, and I think that's what makes it fun.
And of course, not just records, but it's also RPI rankings. This is your power rankings, your conference. Everybody in your conference, and everybody's been kind of bagging on the Pac-10 this year that it's not that solid, and I think it's because it's considered on a national scale weak at the bottom. The RPI has the Pac-10 only as the 8th best conference in the country. Is that accurate?
I think it's accurate, but I think it's also cycles. I mean, you look at the Big Ten; they're only 2 up above them in 6th, and you know the Big Ten has great names, and they usually get 5, 6 teams in the NCAA tournament. So if they're just 2 above the Pac-10, it's not that weak, and it cycles through, and then the Pac-10 will, in 2 or 3 years, will have a better RPI ranking than some of the other teams.
And of course, there's a lot of speculation how many bids that the Pac-10 will get this year. Remember that the winner of the Pac-10 tournament in Los Angeles, regardless of their finish during the regular season, gets an automatic bid. We'll come back. More from Corvallis on Fox Sports Net. Beavers by 4 at the break. Okay. Back in Corvallis on Fox Sports Net, 45-41 is our score. Oregon State took the lead at 7-6. Arizona got back within 1 a couple of different times, could never storm in front. Chris Stevens hit a 3 just before the half. And that's our margin at the break, 45-41. Oregon State, of course, has relied on David Lucas most of the year. He leads this team in scoring. He leads this team in rebounding. Tonight, he's led this team at both ends of the building.
He does, and I told you I totally love his game. He plays a face-up game, and he also plays an inside game. And then Chris Stevens, he's been big for him all year. He's hit big shots all the time. And here's a pretty good break where Jim Hansen, you didn't see him, but he took the defense man through, and J.S. Nash trailed and got a great layup there. And then Chris Stevens hitting another jumper. And I told you he hits a lot of jumpers because of his elevation.
Yeah, we expected the points to come from Lucas. He has 13, but Chris Stevens is the other guy in double figures for the Beavers. He's got 11 points. Oregon State with some pretty good balance right now. Meanwhile, for Arizona, well, no surprise that Channing Frye is their leading scorer coming in. He's their leading scorer in this game. In fact, he hit the first shot of the game.
That was a great play right there. It was just a little screen and roll, and most big guys roll to the basket, but Channing stayed out and shot the shot. And then the fast break we just talked about where the ball never hit the ground, got a layup, and then you got another fast break. The guy pulls up and shoots a three on the fast break in a transition and nails it in Chris Rogers. And then you got Channing Frye doing what we said best, and that's staying with it after it and staying with the ball and don't bringing it down. Got an easy basket right there.
Channing Frye, Hassan Adams with 9 points each, but Chris Rogers, there's your guy, off the bench with 8. He started the other night in place of Hassan Adams at Oregon, had a great game. Come off the bench today with 8 quick points. But David Lucas and Oregon State, they have the lead, 45-41. Do I smell upset?
Great job.
Okay, Watson on headsets. I'm sure that makes everybody feel better in the truck, huh? Pac-10 basketball is brought to you by Bond Macy's. Better together. Good look downtown Corvallis, the City Hall building, and there's a great look, David Lucas. People in the Pac-10 starting to know who this guy is. On a national scale, does anybody know who David Lucas is yet?
You know, we're sitting here talking to who? Rick Sun before the game.
And general manager of the Sonics.
And he's here watching some players. And I told him myself, I said, I've seen David Lucas play a lot of basketball here, and I tell you, he's legitimate.
Former walk-on, it's a great story. He's got the basketball right now. His team leads by 4 as we start the second half. 3 times Arizona has come in here. It's one of the top-ranked teams in the country, and 3 times they've been sent home losers.
That is a big-time shot by Kyle Jeffers right there. His man totally dropped off of him, and he had to knock that shot down.
Turner Hurd wants it up high. Nash takes it himself.
And Jim, you've heard it before, and you've heard it on many other broadcasts, but the first 3 minutes of the second half usually sets the tone. Coaches will always tell you that, and right now, Oregon State has the upper hand.
Is that the answer from Rogers? And he's got 11.
And we see Rogers starting in the place of Hassan Adams in the second half here.
We mentioned right before the second half started that Rogers got the start at Oregon on Thursday night in place of Hassan Adams, but Hassan Adams came on to have 26 and 14 in that game. Maybe Lute Olson was just trying to get his attention, doing the same thing here. Good block by Channing Frye, who leads the Pac-10 in blocks with almost 2.5 a game. He's got those great arms.
Great arms, great height. And he was in great position here. He saw the man spin, came right over it. And he did something good also. He didn't swat down at the ball. He kept his hand straight up. Kind of Bill Russell.
Yeah, it's an art, isn't it?
It is.
Good shot blocking. And Russell used to not only block it, but then control it and start the break.
Keep it in play. That's exactly right.
And Walton used to do that as well at UCLA. Shot clock at 1 second, and the crowd is helping out the Beavers. Bank shot by Hurd would have gone. 9,000 people here knew the clock was running out. Only none of them were wearing a Beavers jersey. And they get a quick turnover. Scanning the floor, Chris Stevens bluffs the three. Arizona really taking chances defensively now all over the floor. Jeffers could convert the short jumper.
If you're Oregon State, you don't want to get into a helter-skelter type of game with them. Right there, Jeffers might have brought the ball back out and got into an offensive set.
It's Fry against Lucas, and Lucas just held his ground. He missed the shot, and Jeffers holds his ground against Iguodala. Jay John has to be so pleased with the way David Lucas and Kyle Jeffers are playing inside against Iguodala and Channing Frye. Because on paper, they shouldn't match up that well. Here's the lob to Lucas!
A set play, ran to perfection. It hadn't worked all night, and then all of a sudden Arizona falls asleep on defense, and David Lucas gets a slam dunk.
And Lute Olson is not happy. He stood up immediately. He is barking at his team. Frye inside. That'll get the coach back in his seat, but I don't think it'll calm him down. Now he stands up again. Oh, a great set play to David Lucas. Watch him call for the ball.
Here's the back screen by J.S. Nash, and then people just standing flat-footed. And actually, Salim Stoudemire has to call out that screen and let Channing Frye know that he's getting screened or switch. But he's got 3 fouls, so he's not going to switch. That's why David Lucas was open.
See, Oregon State is just killing him in the key. 22 to 12, and points in the paint. And a timeout. J.S. Nash got trapped, lost his dribble, and rather than turn it over, he calls timeout. Oregon State and Jay John, the former assistant for Lute Olson at Arizona, and how sweet would it be for him? He has already turned this program around and brought excitement back to Corvallis. What Husky game tomorrow? Oh, North Carolina State. Is that on our? That's on our air. Who's that? Who's doing that for us?
They go way out. They go back to NC.
Yeah. Greensboro, right?
Raleigh. Oh, are they playing in Greensboro?
I don't know. No, it's in Raleigh.
Raleigh.
NC State, Raleigh.
Yeah.
Right. Thank
But
you.
Greensboro always has.
That's where the tournament is, right?
Yeah.
What's in Winston-Salem?
Wake Forest.
Oh, Wake is. Oregon State led by 4 at the half. They lead by 5 with 17:06 to play on their home floor. Reminder, ACC Sunday Night Hoops presented by Staples returns with a great doubleheader, beginning with the Washington Huskies going cross-country and looking to pull off the upset against the 13th-ranked NC State Wolfpack, and then 15th-ranked Wake Forest against 18 Georgia Tech. Coverage begins with our tip-off show, 2 o'clock on Sunday. ACC Sunday Night Hoops on Fox Sports Net. It's ACC plus Washington. I think Washington is the most exciting team in the Pac-10 right now.
You know, I told you I'd love to have Son Adams go to the foxhole with me. I'd take Nate Robinson with me too. Boy, that kid is playing awesome. He's been the spark plug ever since that shot we showed earlier. He's really made Washington a better team.
He sure has. Nate Robinson, of course, had a fantastic freshman year, and he played both football and basketball last year. This year, concentrating just on hoops. And he's been tremendous for Lorenzo Romar. Those guys have won 8 out of 9. Ball knocked out of bounds. Arizona will keep it.
And I got to tell you, I was at Washington State when Jock Robinson, his father, was a great football player. for the University of Washington. I believe Rose Bowl MVP. I'm not for
yes,
sure.
he was.
Okay.
He was also the Orange Bowl MVP
oh
as
my
well.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Good genes.
And the thing that people don't know about Nate Robinson until you see him, he's about 5'8". And he dunks with 2 hands and takes the ball away and he rebounds. As Jim Hansen had just checked in, you talked about him in the first half. You love guys like that who come in and they're impact guys for their 3 or 4 minutes, and he's one of those.
And he immediately got his hands on the basketball, and that's because he played great defense. He's got around the man on the post.
How about Nash on the step-out 18-footer?
He's another one you got to love having on your team, too, because he'll leave everything out there.
Nash in double figures at 10. Ball's on the floor. Picked up by the Beavers. Hurd has Stevens to one side, Nash to the other. And Nash is fouled. Now the Beavers are not intimidated by Arizona. They were with Arizona in Tucson till just about halftime, and then Arizona went on a big run and left them in the rearview mirrors. But Oregon State is a much better, a much different team since that meeting.
They are, and you know, playing in your own confines, you got to be very comfortable. You've had the lead most of the game. Your confidence is up. Your coach is believing in you. You got the fans into the game. They just need to take care of the basketball and keep the lead.
Arizona has 11 turnovers now, but 4 of those have come in the first 4 minutes of this second half. Oregon State has just 6 turnovers for the entire game. Stevens for 3, and that's big. In and out, back in.
Shooter's touch, shooter's roll. I'm telling you, hit shots like that, you're going to keep the fans in the game.
Foul on Oregon State trying to fight through the screen. J.S. Nash called for the foul. Oregon State, every time Arizona comes to town, they take their game to another level. Chris Stevens, a good first half, and getting a bounce. Oh, you gotta love the home rims.
Oh,
I don't know where he is. Is he right behind us now?
There's some black seats up.
About halfway up behind us? I think so. I'm turning around to see if I can find him.
That's where he said he was going to be.
Yeah, he said he was
he's right over to the right. Wave to us, Rick. Way over to the right.
How far up? Is he in those?
Front row.
Yeah, above the students. In that.
There's a camera, and Rick wave. He won't wave. You see the camera over there on the front row in the black? He's the second guy over. See the camera at the end of the black?
Yes, yeah.
Press.
See the desk, right? The second guy in, the bald-headed guy. See, there's a camera, there's a guy in a white shirt, and then the next guy next to him. I wasn't watching that. What are you showing us? I was pointing things out up here. Go ahead, go ahead.
Great defense.
Is this all second half? That was
active hands.
Yeah, but is this all second half?
Yes.
Okay. That's him. That's Rick's son. You gonna do that coming back? Oregon State leads 56-46. Arizona number 14 in the nation. And Rick's son, the general manager of the Sonics, and he came down and talked with us before. Well, he can look at about 10 different guys in this building right now. All these guys on Arizona, but David Lucas also for Oregon State.
I tell you, I would not want to have his job. I know our conversation with him was just about things that go on in the NBA and everything. That's a tough job.
Great entry pass. Fry, a perfect seal for Arizona. That was a set play on the inbounds.
Out of a timeout, most coaches will set something up where they'll get a play looking to score the basketball.
Stevens, no hesitation. Led by Shopin, chased down by Angelo TSAGARAKis. Gotta be tough for TSAGARAKis to watch anybody else shoot a 3 when he's on the court. Hansen inside. He tried to go up and under on Channing Frye. There's Stevens again off glass. That wouldn't go. They got 3 looks and came up empty. Quickly, Arizona into the front court. Mustafa Shakur, the freshman from Philadelphia, looks for Iguodala on the cut. Lost the ball and walked. Another turnover, 5 in the second half on Lute Olson, and he just turns his back. You can't watch it.
And we mentioned that earlier in the game. You just said that his teams are so well coached that they always take care of the basketball. And right there, Iguodala just probably got going a little too fast where he was going to go up for the basket and just lost the basketball.
And he brings Mustafa Shakur, the freshman, right out next to him. And that's got to be the toughest thing when you get called out of the game, when you get the hook and you got to go sit right next to coach. Because Lute doesn't sit at the end of the bench. TSAGARAKIS wouldn't go. And a good rebound by Hansen. That's 4 straight misses for Oregon State now.
And this is the second time down. They're getting a second chance at the basket. Actually, last time they got 3 shots at it.
Hurd is left alone. Oh, and swatted out of bounds by Iguodala. I think they'll get Iguodala for the foul. They will.
Arizona foul on number 20.
He thought it was a clean block.
Well, I think it is a clean block with the ball, but look at the head. He got him on the head with the forearm, or as actually his bicep got him with the head, and that's what the official called. He actually did block the shot, but his arm came through right through Lamar's head.
And that means Iguodala has to go to the bench.
That's 4 on Andre Iguodala.
So Ivan Radenovic comes back in. He played well. About a 6 or 8 minute spurt in the first half. So Iguodala's on the bench. Mustafa Shakur sitting right next to him. They both look like they're in the doghouse. Radenovic comes right in. Every time Radenovic comes into the game, we seem to call his name right away.
Right away. He's a very active player. He'll be involved in a lot of the plays.
14:20 to go. Oregon State at the back of the Pac-10 and challenging and beating the number 14 team in the country right now. It's Hassan Adams working against Lamar Hurd. The kick out with 10 seconds on the shot clock, and the crowd wants some defense. Rogers, bang!
I talked to that young man. He had a great article in the Oregonian about, because he's from Portland himself, and just a fantastic story about the young man. And I was talking to him about either starting or coming off the bench. And I said, you know, when I played, I had a great coach, Lenny Wilkins, who told me, he said, it didn't matter who started, it mattered who finished the game. And Chris Rogers has been on the floor quite a bit at the end of the game. And right there, that's a big-time shot. That's a 3-pointer from NBA range. And Arizona really needed that to keep them in this ball game.
Rogers with 14 points. He's 4 of 5 from outside the arc right now. Last foul was on Channing Frye. Only the second foul on Frye. Keep in mind that Channing Frye, who led Arizona in scoring in the first half, hasn't scored in the second half. TSAGARAKIS has missed 2 threes in a row. And there's Hansen again, giving them another shot clock. But Stevens says, let's go now. And that's way off the mark. I think Stevens getting a little too excited right now. Pull up at the other end. Stoudemire. Oh, he was out for a long time. We kind of forgot about him, didn't we?
We did forget about him, but that'll wake you up pretty quick, because, again, that was long-range 3, and boom, just like that, Arizona's 2 threes. They're right back in the game, only down 3.
That's right. That was a 10-point advantage just about a minute and a half ago.
When Lamar Hurd went to the free throw line, it was a 10-point advantage.
Arizona challenged Oregon State twice with that lead in the first half, and both times the Beavers had answers. They need one. Stevens thinks about the 3, pulls up for the 2. Too strong. He missed 3 shots in a row. And there's a sigh in this building, and a little feeling of doubt now for the first time.
And let's hope Chris Stevens knows that you've missed 3 outside shots. The next one's got to be a layup.
Radenovic is fouled by Hansen in the corner.
Oregon State foul, number 12, Jim Hansen.
Lute Olson comes up and he is pumping that fist. Lute Olson has been coaching for 21 years at Arizona, 31 years in his career. He's in the Hall of Fame, second most Pac-10 wins all time. Who do you think has the most Pac-10 wins?
I got to say John Wooden, because he was at UCLA for 27 years.
But it's getting close.
It's getting close.
Wooden's got 304, Lute's got 288 right now.
And he's a healthy young, I don't know what his age is, but he's a great-looking guy. He looks like he could go another 10 years.
Yeah, he's been fooling us with that white hair for a long time.
Yes, yes, he has.
Yeah, it would take me a half an hour to read Lute Olson's resume to you, but 10 Pac-10 titles and 4 Pac-10 tournament titles as well, 97 national championship reports, runners-up in 2001.
And a great honor at Arizona. The court is named after him and his wife, Newton Barney Olson.
Radenovic hands it to Stoudemire. Stoudemire tries to gap the defense. Lucas blocks it, and Lucas controls it. Stoudemire wanted a whistle. 57-54, Oregon State. Nash. he's been clutch.
He has, and that's why he's captain of this team. He is very, very solid.
Knocked out of bounds by David Lucas.
Well, I tell you, this half, Oregon State's hands have been awesome. They have been touching the ball. There was 3 or 4 times where they've got their hands on the ball.
David Lucas started that last play with a block, and then at the other end, Nash converts. So the play by Lucas turns into 2 points. Stoudemire goes right around Sakarakis. The high arc from the corner wouldn't go, and David Lucas with another rebound.
He's a workhorse. If they had a Superman sticker for his chest, that's what he would be for this team. He is Superman. He does it all. The scoring and the rebounding, helping out on defense, blocking shots, setting screens on offense.
15 points, 8 rebounds for Lucas.
I was just going to say he does a lot.
Sakarakis with the runner. And once again, Oregon State has rallied. It goes off of Stoudemire's hands. No, Hurd touched it last. But Jay John applauds the effort. He says that's the way we do it here in Corvallis. We start with defense. Sakarakis, who speaks 4 languages, getting a little coaching. How about the runner? Go high off the window. They can't find it up there. 61-54 Beavs.
That was a game.
I thought that might have been the end of it when Arizona got back within 3. I thought, no, they're going to go on a run, and
they answered it.
I just wanted to be close in the last 2 minutes. That's all I ever want.
I don't think I've done a game this year. It's been close.
Close one? We did Gonzaga Wazoo. We did Wazoo Washington. You know, definitely Stoudemire. He's got to do something. I mean, Fry can't carry him. This is all night. It's just second out. Right?
Yep. That was the clock, and then boom, that was 57-48. Benny.
Okay. Ah, very good, very good. We're gonna do that before we play, yes? Unheralded Oregon State leading number 14 Arizona. They've done it to him before, and maybe Lute Olson has thought, hey, if you can't beat him, have him join you, because he's got 2 kids from Portland, Chris Rogers and Salim Stoudemire, and maybe those are the guys who are gonna bring him back.
Well, they have to. Salim Stoudemire is obviously the offensive threat Arizona has out there. And, you know, we've talked about him earlier. He's had big games in the past, and he's going to have to really come up big now, because every time they get close, Oregon State sticks an arm out and says, hey, stay back. So they've answered everything Arizona's given them. Stoudemire
goes to the bench right now. He's got 3 points in the second half, only 7 in the game. Chris Rogers has 14 points in the game. Hassan Adams for 3. That wasn't close, but went right to Radinovich, and he's fouled. I understand he's 6'10", but he always seems to be in the right place.
I'm telling you, the European players, they've learned how to play the game a lot better than some of our kids have recently. I think we're still more athletic, and I think our skills are still a little bit better, but they seem to know where to be on the floor and how to get there. And right there, Radinovich knew that he had J.S. Nash guarding him, so he was going to go after that offensive board.
Would you like to see the Olympics go back to a strict amateur system?
I think we've proven our point.
Yeah, you think?
I think we have.
Yeah, we've proven we're better than Angola. Yeah. I would love to see that again.
Yes.
And make it strict now. Make the Europeans adhere to it as well. Second free throw is missed. Adams with a big rebound for Arizona. It'll be bigger if they score. Down 6 right now, and a second possession.
And Radinovich has another mismatch, and, well, they helped him out by setting the screen there and switching.
Hassan Adams, oh, that's a big-time play.
Would you love to hang in the air like that and make a shot? He had nowhere to go and came looked like out of bounds. And threw up a left-handed. Look at this. Jumps, oops, where am I going? Throws it up with the left hand.
So now he makes this, it's a 4-point possession. They had hit the free throw earlier, now they got the bucket, so that's 3, and there's 4 points without Oregon State touching the basketball.
And back to 3.
One possession game.
We'll see
11 minutes.
We'll see what Oregon State done. They've answered every run that Arizona's thrown at them, so we'll see what they do this time.
Oregon State probably go back to Lucas. He has the ball. Plenty of time on the shot clock. TSAGARAKIS.
I got a sheet in here somewhere that says green light, green light, green light. That coach gives him the green light to shoot from anywhere.
Yeah, he didn't look at the bench whether he makes it or misses it. TSAGARAKIS tried to steal it from Rogers. Denovich, 6'10" guy, puts it on the floor and pulls up. Wouldn't go, and TSAGARAKIS with the long carom.
And if Oregon State scores here, they should run a lot of offense right here and look at a good shot. Look at that.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
And look at Coach J. John applauding that. That was not even NBA range. That was out by the hash mark.
That was a European 3.
Oh. Back to 9 points.
And
just like
Brown's
that.
back in it. Out of bounds. Timeout, Arizona. There are threes, there are long threes, and then there is Angelo TSAGARAKIS, 29-footer.
Can you believe that? That was a great play by Lamar Hurd that took the ball over to his shooter and handed it off and screened just enough to give TSAGARAKIS a chance to see the basket and throw in a 29-footer like you said. And what does a 29-footer do? It brings the students who are behind us off their rears and upstanding and cheering because now they cut the lead to 3 and now it's back to 9. It's amazing what a shot like that can do. You know, dunk shots have their flash too, but there's nothing better than bringing a house down with a 3 like that. Woo.
And you want to talk about confidence, he shot it right in front of his own coach.
And he was applauding him. John was applauding him.
Jay John, a former assistant to Lute Olson for 4 seasons at Arizona. And in his second season here in Corvallis. Last year the Beavers were 13 and 15. Layup.
Oh. That's basketball, Jim, right there. They hit the high post, cut off the high post. Defense is napping. Lamar Hurd goes in for a soft dunk shot, but I'll give him a dunk on that.
Oregon State by 11. With Denovich. Went to Fry, he missed, Fry misses again. Adams saves, it goes off for Denovich's face. Saved by Lucas. Oh, that was just pinball.
Right now, I like both teams. I think they're both going at it really hard, and Arizona, right there was really aggressive and trying to get the ball, but Oregon State was just as aggressive.
They get quiet in anticipation. TSAGARAKIS, he's within range, puts it on the floor, goes to the basket, misses. Lucas was shoved from behind, no whistle. Guys are on the ground. Channing Frye went to his knees, lost the ball, layup. And Adams, off the air ball, lays it in. It was so bad, it was good. 11-point lead, just over 8 minutes to play. And they are starting to get excited in Corvallis. It would be the high water mark for the Jay John era. Stevens lost it to Lucas inside, and Franning will have to. Channing Frye had no choice. He had to foul him.
And not a bad foul. You're sending a freshman to the line, and Jeffers is a pretty good free throw shooter for his size. He's about 65%, but I think that was the right call on Channing Frye in order to make Jeffers earn this basket or earn these 2 points.
That's only the second on Fry. I believe earlier I said his last foul was his second. Officially now he has 2 fouls, so it's no problem for Channing Fry at this point. Jefferson. There's just a lot of oomph behind that one. Freshman from Santa Rosa in Central California.
And I tell you, Jim, as athletic as Arizona is, and as good as defensive team they can be because of that athleticism, they've got to really be careful and not take a lot of gambles on defense, because it puts you totally out of position, and it makes the other guys have to help out a lot. And then, as good as Oregon State's playing tonight and moving the ball, I mean, if they had 10 assists at halftime, they're picking you apart. You got to play good, solid defense. You got to stay in front of your man, and hopefully that'll work. But when you get behind, you get a little frustrated. You feel like you got to do something extra.
It stays out. We also saw that Salim Stoudemire checked in before that second free throw, so he's back on the floor. Shovels to Fry. Wouldn't go, pulled down by Hassan Adams. Chris Stevens ties him up. That's a jump ball. It's Arizona's ball on the arrow, but a good play by Chris Stevens. Adams brought it down. Stevens snatched it away from him. Now they're back on their feet in Corvallis. They've been excited since they got here, and now they have even more reason. They have an 11-point lead. What? Okay. That's all it was, yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. That's true. Scrappy's the word for him. Paint your hair orange and black.
Okay. Saturday night in Corvallis, do your hair, get all dressed up, and go to the big game. They are excited in this town. Jay John has returned the glory to Corvallis. They're talking about it already. The team's getting better, and they have 2 different ways they can score. They can go scripted, or they can go scrappy.
And that was scripted right there. That was hitting the high post and cutting off. Simple give and go. And now here's the extra effort on the floor. Chris Stevens in the right place comes up with a big basket, brought these people to their feet.
Arizona with 15 turnovers in this game. Oregon State 6. Taking care of the basketball, haven't they?
They sure have. And you know, if you look at Arizona, they averaged like 88 points a game, and in their last 3, they've been over 100, right?
Yep.
Credit Oregon State with some good defense tonight.
Arizona hung 100 on Oregon at backcourt. How about Stoudemire, the standing 3?
Hey, I told you earlier, he loves standing still and shooting the 3. The scouting report on him should have been that way. Oregon State's got to get up on him and make him put the ball on the floor.
Nash double teamed in the backcourt, got it to Hurd. Now they have numbers. Hurd pulls up, 17-footer. Off the mark, one and done, and here comes Stoudemire. Stoudemire wants to do it himself, blocked from behind, it went to Fry, and then he's fouled. Well, Stoudemire likes to take over a game. When he scores, chances are next time down, he's going to shoot the ball again.
He's definitely going to feel it, and he felt it here, but here's great hustle on Jim Hanson's part. He's getting back. Stoudemire does not know he's behind him. Hanson gets the block here. The ball goes right to Channing Fry. He gets his hands on the ball again. It's amazing. That's just pure hustle, and that's why Oregon State has the lead, is all their guys are hustling tonight.
That free throw right there by Channing Frye was only the 4th free throw attempted by Arizona in the second half. They had 15 free throws in the first half. Quiets the crowd for the moment and cuts the lead to 7. If you joined us a little bit late, Oregon State took the lead at 7-6. They have never given up that lead. Arizona's been back within 1. They've never been even. Only been as close as 1. Jay John, second year at Corvallis. 4 years as an assistant to Lute Olson. And during his tenure, Arizona won 101 games and played the national title back in 01. That's a good hire for Oregon State.
That is.
Stevens. And the crowd got in his head, wanted him to shoot that 3.
And I tell you, I don't think you understand the pressure that is applied by Arizona. That was a great job of breaking the press and getting the ball across half court against a great pressing team in Arizona.
And Chris Rogers swats it out of bounds. And Arizona does turn up the pressure defensively. They're so quick. Their guys gamble. They're strong. They just give you nothing. They defend and deny every lead.
And in college, in 40 minutes, you can basically press a full game. And I like that. Oh,
Nash on a big screen out front.
And a good clean screen. I don't think anything was wrong with that. Jim Hansen came up and set a good clean screen, and he got J.S. Nash to the basket.
I just love the way Nash goes to the basket. So strong and so confident. That's a walk. There's another turnover.
It happens all the time when guys that are right-footed catch the ball on their left foot pivot, where they pick it up and start moving. It happens all the time, and Hassan Adams just showed it. 16
turnovers now for the Wildcats. 6 for Oregon State.
I love pressure, too, about in college because you take time off the shot clock. So when you get down here on the other end, offensively, you're thinking, oh, I don't have much time left. But they did a great job breaking the press.
Oh, that's a great play by Lucas. The pass from Hurd was too strong. He could only get his fingertips on it and somehow managed to deflect it into the basket.
And that's exactly how you want to break a press, is throw the ball down the floor, have your guys run to the basket.
To say Arizona needs some points right now is an understatement. Rogers, he's getting knocked around, throws it up, won't go, and nobody was in position for that rebound. Iguodala, uncontested 3.
Could that be it? Could that be sparking them right now? Because that was a tough possession.
That ball was on the floor. On the rebound, if Oregon State had been able to get it, it would have been in control. Here comes Stevens.
Oh, took it right at him. Oh, no! Yeah, good call. Great call. That is good officiating right there, because that could have been Stoudemire's 4th foul in a charge. Nash established his position, but here's Stevens going straight to the basket, challenging Channing Frye. Then the quick out-of-bounds pass up to Stoudemire. Right there, J.S. Nash put his feet down, but the official called traveling, kept Stoudemire in the game.
And the officials are having a great game because we haven't even been talking about them. That's what you want. Look at the smile on the face of J.S. Nash. It's contagious in Corvallis, isn't it? Hey, it's not a football town anymore. They play basketball here again. You remember, this was a great program in 1980.
It sure was. Ralph Miller had this team always in the top 10. Their style of play was awesome. It was hard to guard, and the fans came out. This is a great building. It has a lot of tradition, like you said, and there's a mural up on the wall that you can see that has all their greats through here that came through here.
Of course, there's a history, there's a great legacy here, and it goes back a long way. In fact, you look up, they have Pacific Coast Conference banners up on the wall. Ralph Miller Court, of course, and Ralph Miller. And these guys have come through here, and I remember, I'm old enough to remember Mel Counts.
Mel Counts.
Nobody ever talks about Big Mel anymore. Went on to play for the Lakers.
He did. He had a fabulous career.
Oregon State with 21 points off of Arizona turnovers. Arizona has 2 points off of Beaver miscues.
I'll tell you, Jim, right now, this possession for Oregon State is huge. They got a 10-point lead, and if they score, that'll really add to it. Oh, what a pass.
To Lucas for the flush. short. Lucas had it. It was knocked out of bounds. Check it was Stevens inside, not Lucas. This is a great pass by Hansen.
And a great execution on Oregon State part. J.S. Nash was trapped right in front of us. He had 3 guys on him. That meant somebody was open. They got the ball down to Hansen.
Drive and dish.
That's exactly right. Here's another chance.
Stevens himself.
Oh. Are they on? Are they on?
He's a sophomore. He's got no fear. Look at this, a 14-point lead, biggest of the night, and that is erased quickly by Mustafa Shakur, a freshman at the other end.
Let me tell you, we got 4 minutes and 25 seconds. And the way this feels right now, we're going to have a shootout at the OK Corral. That was a big shot by Mustafa Shakur right there. That's a freshman pulling up from 2 feet behind the line. They needed that 3-pointer.
Anybody thinks that Lute Olson has mellowed? You see the look on his face when he came off the bench after that 3? He says, I am not going to lose to Oregon State in Corvallis again. It's not going to happen. Not on my watch. Now Thursday, it's a Pac-10 basketball doubleheader with the Huskies battling Arizona in the desert. Follow that up, the Oregon Ducks against the Bears at Cal. Coverage begins Thursday at 5:30 and only on Fox Sports Net. You know, California with Ben Braun, they made a nice little run. They got up to 3rd place in the Pac-10. I thought, hey, we got a new team in the race. And they faded. I don't know what's happened to them. They got beat again today by USC.
Well, we're watching it here on this court tonight, too. I mean, you're taking the 9th place team against the 2nd place team, and they got a 11-point lead.
You know what this is? This is a preview of the Pac-10 tournament. That's what we're watching right here.
Exactly.
This is what happens. UCLA beat Arizona in the 1st round in Los Angeles. Last year, nobody could believe it. They were playing for Steve, remember?
Exactly. Steve Lavin, he's got a nice job now, though.
Yeah, he does. Lucas. Just get sit around and talk about basketball.
That's what I was saying. He's got a nice job, just like us.
Knocked out of bounds with 4:08. Lucas thought he should have had that easy layup, and I got to agree with him. It's the only thing he's done wrong tonight. Keep something in mind here. Elo, you got to love this. They're down 11, Arizona, but Arizona is shooting 50% from 3.
And how are they going to get back in this game? Probably have to shoot a couple of threes, and if they're shooting 50%, that'll make sure that Oregon State's got to guard them out there, because if they're shooting that well, they can get right back in this game.
Oh, how about the move there? Mustafa Shakur, split defenders and scores.
Well, you talk about the guards that have come through Arizona, the Steve Kerrs, the Jason Terrys,
Khalid Reeves,
yeah, and they compare this young man, Miles Simon, wide open down here.
Oh, everybody's alone. They're going to give it to Hansen. He earned it, man. He earned it. And a quick timeout.
30-second timeout.
No more showing your colors. Take your colors off. They love Hansen in this house.
They sure do.
You and I have learned to appreciate him just over the last hour and a half. And Lucas couldn't wait to give it up to him.
I tell you, and here's that. We're talking about guards from Arizona. Mustafa Shakur, he's going to have a great career at Arizona. Arizona's behind, so what do they immediately do? They start pressing. They get trapped up here. There's 4 guys up the floor. Oregon State looks down the floor. Hansen goes through with a monster dunk, not a baby dunk. That's a monster dunk.
You think Hansen loved that?
Look at the floor. Look, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 guys all in Arizona in the backcourt. 2 guys at Oregon State. That's the way you beat press.
You know, and that's something I've learned since I was playing at Boys Club, is when a guy in the backcourt is trapped, you go to the ball, go help him, flash to the ball, get your hands up, present a target, and then as soon as you get it, kick it to the wing and go.
Yes, you either look opposite or look to the same side, to the wing, because all the defense is coming in to surround you. And they did a perfect job of breaking the press right there.
You have to wonder if sometime during the night, at least here over the last 3.5 minutes, that Lute Olson is going to steal a glance down the bench at Jay John, and if Jay John's going to be looking back. Stoudemire elevates and scores. And here comes the full court pressure. Oregon State gets it in quickly.
And this time Arizona had a couple of guys back. They were not going to give that easy basket up again.
Nash did a good job not to go over the line, give himself some more space. Stevens. Had it knocked away. No whistle. Ahead. Stoudemire.
Oh!
Travel.
That's twice J.S. Nash has forced Salim into a travel, but you know,
Salim Stoudemire is one of the fastest guys in the Pac-10, and every time he turns around, J.S. Nash is standing in his shadow. Another turnover. The Beavers holding on. They lead by 9 with 3:05. Yeah, good point. Really good point.
Come meet the ball, boom, up the sideline, wham.
Yeah, that's a great Elvis package. I don't know who did that, but that's great.
It's all been layups.
Oh, there he is.
He's got a freshman son on the team.
Oh, Michael Johnson, yeah. He's a walk-on. Number 23, if you can find him on the bench. I don't know if he has his jersey off. Oh, good. There you go.
And Steve and Maurice even played together at Portland.
At Portland, yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be a thrill for both of them.
You want to start with his jersey? You wanted to start with him? Okay. Are we doing this promo or no? No, the package, not the promo. When the crowd comes back, the all-time greats come back. Steve Johnson, of course, a Northwest favorite, both in college and in the pros, played with the Trailblazers. He used to get all those inside baskets, and ever since Arizona has applied pressure, Oregon State's getting some easy hoops.
They have taken the ball to the basket for easy shots, and that's high percentage shots right there. And ever since Sagarakis kind of hit those threes, they've been going right at Arizona. Arizona's been spread thin on defense because they're behind. They have to trap. They're using extra men, and they're not getting back. And the result, Oregon State's getting easy shots.
And Channing Frye has but 1 point in the second half for Arizona. Well, David Lucas has 8 in the second half. He's got 21 points on the night. Stevens has 18.
Boy, that was a mirror of his dad right there. He was always setting screens in the backcourt for the little guys.
Under 3 minutes to play. Oregon State, obviously, the word from the sideline during that timeout was burn some clock. Let's take 30 seconds. Nash, reverse layup. Oh!
That's
Woo! Oh my goodness. David Lucas. That's 23.
David Lucas, you're making Jim and I look very good telling Rich Son that you can play basketball at the next level.
Will that get us some seats?
I think so.
With the Supersonics?
Ooh.
My goodness. Where does he come from on this?
I have no idea, but that was a great play by Nash, and then bam! Right there, David Lucas. You know what? Nash going to the basket caused all the shot blockers to go. That meant David Lucas had an easy shot to go in there.
Channing Frye, his first basket of the second half.
And he had to do that. Hansett is 6'6", Channing Frye 6'10". Total mismatch. As hard as Hansett would play him, Channing Frye had to take that shot.
And now Oregon State, one eye on the clock and one eye on the Cats. Lose the ball, pick it up, and a foul. Iguodala, the foul's on Iguodala, and that's 5. And Andre Iguodala is gone. Iguodala's going to leave with 7 points and 4 rebounds.
And they had a pretty good trap with him and Salim right there, and the ball was kind of knocked loose, but you got to give Lamar Hurd credit because he went after it. That's that scrappiness that they talked about earlier.
That brings Ivan Radinovich back into the game for Arizona. He's played well when he's been in there. Stoudemire has to be careful. He's in foul trouble. Stevens, they got a new shot clock, too, on that. That's the other thing. Nash, he wanted to shoot it. There's still 20 seconds on the shot clock, and it's kicked. And that'll give them another clock.
You're exactly right. That's what the rule says.
So if they hold this to the end of this 35, they could have held the ball for 1 minute and 5 seconds.
And now if you're Arizona, you have to foul immediately, right when the ball comes in. You can't let more time run off the clock.
Oregon State doesn't even essentially have to score for the rest of this game.
They don't. They just got to run the clock right now.
Lute Olson is up, but he's not saying anything. Maybe he already said it. There's the foul.
And see, I can't understand that. I don't know why the players don't know that, hey, okay, we've got time. We're 9 points down. The only way we get back is get the basketball. We let the shot clock run down, and then they foul. I don't understand that.
And they're not in the bonus, so the ball's going to be out of bounds.
So you should have fouled right when the ball came in to David Lucas. Another shot clock because of the foul.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen a team get 4 shot clocks
in one possession.
Yeah.
3 shot clocks in one possession. You're exactly right.
And they're not fouling Nash. Stevens to Lucas to Hurd. And back to Stevens. Great keep away. And Mustafa Shakur goes for the steal, and Stevens just weaves his way back outside. 15 seconds on the shot clock. They do not have to do anything with this basketball.
I'll tell you what.
And what is Arizona waiting for?
I have no idea. I tried to explain it right there. You don't foul this late into the shot clock. You go ahead and start fouling early. And now they are in the bonus. They've had 1 foul to give there, but I don't understand letting the clock run some time off.
Chris Stevens at the line. He had 16 points against the Cats in Tucson, and he's got 20 points right now.
And David Lucas getting his hands on the ball again.
They almost got another possession.
Another possession would have killed Arizona.
Shakur, no good. Rebound pulled down. Stoudemire got tripped as it's going out of bounds. It's going to be Arizona basketball. That's a good call.
That's a very good call. The official was right on top of it. He saw everything. Of course, the students behind us don't think so.
Well, they got to be very excited in this town right now. Less than a minute to play. The number 14 team has come here again and is about to fall on their face again. It's happened 3 times before. They were ranked number 2, they were ranked number 9, and they were ranked number 3. This time they're ranked number 14. Stoudemire walks. Forget it.
There's a couple of roadblocks in there that Salim did not see, and when he finally came to that last roadblock right on the Pac-10 in the middle of the lane, he had to skip a little bit, and the official caught him on it.
Timeout Oregon State. What a strange weekend it's been for Salim Stoudemire. 37 points against Oregon on Thursday night. One of the best games that he's ever played. Today he has 12 points, and it's been a miserable evening.
And you know, you talk about the RPIs and the rankings and all that we talked about earlier at halftime, and you say the Pac-10's down, but that's what makes the Pac-10 so tough. You play a great game on Thursday, then you got to come and recover and get right back and have another great game on Saturday night against the Pac-10. And to me, that makes the Pac-10 strong. I mean, I've been there. I played UCLA on Thursday night, lost and went across town to USC and lost there. You know, that night, it's tough. It's tough playing a Pac-10 schedule.
That's a long trip back to Pullman after that.
It is a long trip, especially with George Raveling. It's a longer one.
85-75 Oregon State, 56.5.
But I tell you, I don't think the Pac-10 at all. I would hate to play a Pac-10 schedule.
You know, that's all guesswork anyway when those RPI rankings. So you're just comparing apples and oranges, ACC to Pac-10 to the Big East. You know, that's why you have the tournament.
Yes.
So you can just push all that stuff aside. Of course, it all comes down to Selection Sunday, and people get left outside looking in. You're never going to make everybody happy.
You're never.
Now, Oregon State obviously has no shot at the NCAA tournament unless they win the Pac-10 tournament.
And get the automatic bid.
Now, 2 hours ago, I'd tell you, oh, that's not going to happen. Now you ask me that question, I'd say it's probably not going to happen. Because I didn't think this was going to happen. TSAGARAKIS.
I tell you, though, this game for Oregon State was decided in the first half, where every time they built a lead, Arizona answered it. They always kept Arizona at arm's length, and it just gave them confidence. And that's the one thing a coach will ever tell you if you're the better team, or supposedly the better team, is don't let the other team have confidence.
Angelo TSAGARAKIS, of course, goes to the bench. A standing ovation for him. Everybody remembers that. We called it a 29-footer. Let's be realistic, say it was 26. But it was big.
And look here what Chris Stevens did. I love the fact that he picked up right there. We saw the earlier shot of him letting Nate Robinson roll the ball up. You know, make Arizona spend some time.
Yeah, get that clock running. Foul in the backcourt on Channing Frye. He grabs J.S. Nash, and Nash got hit in the jaw.
And I tell you, I'm looking at my notes here, and I got Chris Stevens shooting 83% from the line, J.S. Nash shooting 84%. David Lucas shooting 81%.
J.S. Nash shooting for the Beavers.
Nash is 4 for 4 from the line
You
tonight.
don't want to put this Oregon State team on the line. They shoot the ball very well. And this is where you win games, right here.
Yeah, they've missed a couple of free throws, and they've been the front ends. So they're giving Arizona a chance to at least climb back into it. Shakur inside. He wanted to draw the foul, and he got it.
Oh, let me tell you what's good about that shot right there. A lot of guys will just give up and start bombing the three, like my son in the AAU games. I try to tell him, you got to take the ball to the basket when you're behind and get the 2 points, and then take your chances of fouling or maybe stealing the ball on the inbounds. That's where you got to do it. Mustafa Shakur did a nice job drawing the contact. Now you get 2 shots and the free throw. Now they can set their press up also. So, Austin, if you're listening at home, that's what I was trying to tell you.
I was going to ask you if your boys watching. But you got to make the free throws.
Yes, you got to make the free throws.
I mean, I've been harping on this for 5 years. I don't think guys work on free throws anymore. You know, when they watch highlight tapes, they see dunks.
Yeah, exactly, that's all they see. And the only time to really work in free throws in practice is when you've been going up and down, and then you should stop your team and have them shoot some free throws when they're tired and rested. You can't shoot them before or after practice.
Here's a stat. He just handed it to me from the truck. Oregon State, 1 turnover in the second half. 12 for Arizona. Pressure against Stevens, the sophomore, he's fouled. He's a good free throw shooter now, 31 seconds.
And as soon as we said that J.S. Nash is a good free throw shooter and Chris Stevens is a free throw shooter, both of them have messed the front end of a 1-and-1, so we'll see if they'll redeem themselves right now.
Jay John in the center of that huddle, he said, just hold on, guys, let's just hold on. Jay John, it's been a long road to get here, an assistant coach at San Francisco for a year. Stevens makes the front end of that one. Jay John spent 2 years in the same area as an assistant coach at Oregon. And then he spent 8 years as an assistant at Butler, and then 4 years as an assistant for Lute Olson at Arizona. And here he's in his second year in Corvallis. You think he's had an impact?
Oh, he's had a huge impact. There's people in these stands. These seats were empty for a while, and he's brought them back, and he's done it through his recruiting and the style of play.
Yeah, I missed that last run of great basketball here at Oregon State. And this is what people used to tell me about. This building was a fun place to be on Saturday. Shakur hits the 3. Keeps him within 7 with 25 seconds. See how fast Arizona can stop the clock. 23.1.
Well, I tell you, Oregon State's doing a great job right now. J.S. Nash takes the ball out. Lamar Hurd, who's not a bad free throw shooter, but around 64% it looks like, or 54%. He is a bad one then. And Hansett were both on the other end. They got Lucas, Stevens, and Nash up front. Their best free throw shooters.
Give me a number. What's a good free throw shooter? What's the Mendoza line?
Oh, it should be 70. 70 to 75 is 75. You get above 75, you're a good free throw shooter.
It used to be the norm. There were free points.
Yes.
I know when I played, my coach would make us run and then shoot free throws, and then run and then shoot free throws to simulate game action.
Game action, you're exactly right.
And look at this. Oregon State could put this game away. They're just not doing it. They should be okay with a 7-point lead, but you never know. It's Pac-10 basketball. Knocked away, stolen by Lucas, and that should do it. Because now there's only 12 seconds left, and they lead by 7. But they didn't do themselves any favors. And remember, this is the same team, Oregon State, that led Washington by 16 and lost that game. They've forgotten all about that now, haven't they?
They sure have, and Jay John's got to be very proud of his team. He's talked about it all year long, that they're taking baby steps and growing this thing, and I tell you what, this is a huge baby step right here, beating this team.
And David Lucas makes the free throw. He is just such a great story. The local kid, grew up in the area, a walk-on. And he has had to earn everything. And those are the guys that go on, I think, and just have those tremendous careers that just continue to rise the higher they get. Because they never take anything for granted.
No, they don't. And he sure did. And he's lucky his skills. He grew actually late and had the skills stay with him.
Three-pointer by Rogers won't go. Laney, put it back, forget it. They can count the basket, but it's over, and it's party time in Corvallis as they upset the number 14 ranked Arizona Wildcats. The Glory Days are back in the Willamette Valley.
I tell you, Jim, we watched it earlier in the flashbacks. The fans storm the floor again. This is college basketball. This is what it's all about right here.
I tell you what, does this look like a school that's won 5 conference games? It's the beginning of something good. And this team has all kinds of momentum. They have now won 3 of their last 4, and the only loss in that streak was a 1-point loss on the road in Seattle to Washington, and they missed a shot that could have won it. Look at Jay John.
And I was at the game in Arizona where he lost that game, and it was a 30-point game, and his head was not down, but it was a dejected look on his face. And that's a whole different look right there when he ran off the floor right there tonight.
How many times have we seen this scene? The orange celebrating at midcourt and the blue disappearing into the tunnel on their way back to Tucson with an L on their back. 90-82 Oregon State. And all of a sudden the football town has rekindled basketball. It's a good time to be young and a Beaver. This team's getting some momentum going into the Pac-10 tournament.
I tell you what, that 8th spot's looking pretty good to them right now. Of course, if you get that 8th spot, you got to face somebody that's #1 in the country, preferably Stanford Cardinal, but you know what? That's all you want is a shot at it. And there's David Lucas. He deserves a well round of applause right there.
David Lucas, a tremendous night. 22 points and 9 rebounds. And he and Jay John both playing to their people as they disappear into the tunnel. What a great night for Oregon State basketball. Now that is going to do it for us. For Curtis Wilson, your producer, Rich Dewey, your director, and Craig Elo, I'm Jim Watson saying so long from Corvallis. Your final score once again, Oregon State 90, Arizona 84. The next Oregon State game is Saturday, February 28th at 8 o'clock. Join Brad Adams tonight at 10 p.m. for the Northwest Sports Report. Until next time, so long from Corvallis. The Beavers beat the Cats again.